So Western Alaska Minerals, one of our highlights you'll be seeing later on today. It's a very, very high-grade silver deposit. Shown here is an example of our argentiferous galena, and there's so much silver in the matrix of the galena, you can see it's very distorted. So it's a beautiful rock to look at. So today, I'd like to have three takeaways for you, highlights that we have a very large, promising, and relatively underexplored land package, 73,000 acres of state of Alaska land. We have a very strong leadership team in exploration. Joe Pekenbrock, who's here today, our Chief Exploration Officer, has over 40 years experience in Alaska, a lot of that with Nova Gold, and taking the well-known Donlin project to the size it is today, and also here in Canada at Galore Creek. My background is also 35, 40 years experience in Alaska, principally with Anaconda Minerals Company and also discovery on the discovery team of Greens Creek. But today what we'll be talking about is our new discovery at Waterpump Creek, extremely high-grade carbonate replacement deposit. Touch on our capital structure. We have a very, very conservative view on financing and capital. So we have about 46 million shares outstanding. You can see a nice split three ways in our ownership between our officers and directors at 35%, institutions, and our retail investors. Really like to point out four institutions that have joined us over the last year and a half. Crescat Capital out of Denver is our largest shareholder in the 16-17% range. Willem Middelkoop and his Commodity Discovery Fund out of the Netherlands. Delbert Capital based here in Vancouver. And then most recently, Sprott Resource Investments headed by Neil Adshead. Current market value is in the 150 million range. We went public a year ago, November. We've had a very fortunate run in that period of time due to some excellent drilling results. Joe has went through some of how tough the market has been in 2022, including our going public raise. We've raised about $22 million in the 12 months starting November of 2021. Went public at 85 cents a share, as you can see here. Whoop, wrong slide. We completed a financing in May of 2022 and another $12 million financing in August. So we've had a very exceptional track record this year. Mentioned our team, so I'll touch briefly on this one. Peter McGaugh is well-known, one of the world's leading experts in carbonate replacement deposits, has worked with Joe and I for many years and joined our team a couple years ago and has been very important in helping us refine our exploration tactics in Alaska. A little bit of a location slide here. We're due north of the Donlin gold deposit that may get a positive construction decision hopefully in 2023, west of Fairbanks, and we're about 500 kilometers south of Red Dog, which is the world's largest zinc producer operated by Teck. Moving in a little bit, we have a district-wide land package as shown here. The flagship property is in the center. Illinois Creek has been a past-producing oxide gold open pit mine, the first heap leach operation in Alaska. Waterpump Creek, you can see next to that will be our focus here, but we actually have 5 different deposits, including Round Top, which is a porphyry copper. Zooming in a little bit to the property, just like to point out, I'll be talking about Waterpump Creek, which is up here in the right. We have about a 400 meter long mineralized zone that we have developed this year, and that is all contained in that little red circle. It's part of a 4-kilometer trend, the Waterpump Creek Graben. And then also I'd like to point out, right there is the Illinois Creek past producing mine. So we really have scale here. The 2 of the most famous CRD deposits in the world shown on the left, Santa Eulalia in Mexico and Tintic in Utah. All 3 of these maps are at the same scale. And I'd like to point out the Illinois Creek Fault, which extends northeast from the mine up to Waterpump Creek. This gives you the size of the entire CRD system that we're working with. All the structures, I believe, have controlled mineralization. So this coming year, we'll be doing a two-prong exploration program. We'll have 2 drills working up at Waterpump Creek, expanding developing a resource there, and 2 more drill rigs exploring along some of the structural features you see here. I hope to have at least one other CRD discovery in between those 2 circles by the end of 2023. The original our intercept going public, just shown here to give you an example of what the drill core looks like. This is 9.1 meters of true thickness. Grade is really what we're talking about here at Waterpump Creek. Over 1/2 kilo silver and about 37% combined lead zinc. So the grade has been holding up as we've drilled to the south. Thicknesses have increased up to over 100 meters in one intercept. I'd like to point out that hole I just mentioned, 2109, is up at the top. It would be right in this little area here. Everything down dip of that was developed with our drilling in 2022, about 28 drill holes. As you can see, going down dip to the south, it has been increasing. We now have 3 different mantos that are extending off to the south that will continue on this coming year. And shown also there is the structure where Illinois Creek Fault cuts through, and that is the 102-meter intercept right in here. That is hole 18. Mention the past producing mine. It's shown here in the slide on the left. Takeaway here is that this shows that you can have a fully permitted, fully operational open pit mine on this property in Alaska. So that's a big question on a lot of projects, so I wanted to put that out. And also, when we were going public, the qualifying property was this resource at Illinois Creek, about 525,000 ounces of gold equivalent at a very good gold grade, but we've shifted our focus to the high grade at Waterpump Creek. Mention, again, this was a past producing mine. Slide on the photo on the bottom is just an example of when the leach pad was being constructed. And the slide on the right just shows some of the gold silver doré that was produced at Illinois Creek. Timing is everything in the mining business. It went into production in 1997 at the all-time low in the gold market, $270 an ounce. So closed after only 18 months and left the rest of the resource in place. We're very proud of our local initiative. We work very closely with the local villages in the area, Nulato, Caltag, and Galena since 2016. Have a very strong local hire program, and that'll be continuing as we go forward. 2023 will be doubling the size of our drilling program from 2022 to about 17,000 meters. We'll be working with 2 drill rigs, as I mentioned, at Waterpump Creek, and 2 more drill rigs along exploration Wade's Trend in the East IC Manto. Again, a little different than some other junior explorers. We own all our own drill rigs. We don't have to go out and compete in the market in the bidding process, which has been very difficult the last few years. But we do have a very strong relationship with Morecore Drilling out of Stewart, BC, has been our contractor since 2016. We have just completed the 3rd year of engineering on a road access alignment to the Yukon River, 28 miles, about 45 kilometers. We hope to have a pre-feasibility level cost estimate come out in March. And that's part of our major program on de-risking studies, including metallurgy, all different types of environmental baseline studies. So the takeaways here is this is really one of the few early stage silver projects that is really very strong in grade in the development pipeline today. The thicknesses of the intercepts at holes 18 and 22, ranging from 60 to 100 meters in thickness, shows how fast we can develop tonnage, and we hope to come out with a resource at the end of this coming drilling season. The grades are true bonanza grades of silver, intercepts up to 1.2 kilos per ton silver, and these are over quite good mineable thicknesses. This would be a room and pillar operation, very different from some of the other silver projects, which are really narrow vein mining operations. So I'll end with that, but the key here is really the scale of the potential. 1 year of what you saw here today was really 1 year of drilling at Waterpump Creek. So with that, thank you very much.